What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Stacy. Welcome to video 2 of my 3-part video series I made of me restoring this old half cabin boat. The name of the boat is called a Cruise Craft Rustler. It's a 4.5 meter boat. So don't forget guys, I have timestamps at the bottom. If you want to fast forward some sections, just click on the section below in the timestamp and I'll forward you to the section you can watch. Hope you guys enjoy it. Peace. Woo! So what I'm going to do now guys, in the cabin there was another little section in the cabin where the battery was, and so I'm just going to make that, put it together. Okay, so I'm just going to put a bung on the bottom of that cabin piece, that section there, just so if water does spill in the cabin I can just drain it out. This should fit good. Yeah, I want to put the bung plug in here, but it's too low this, so what I'm doing, I'm just putting pieces of wood under here so it brings it up a bit so the bottom of the bung won't touch the hull, the bottom of the boat. You see, so I've made it a bit higher now. I just put those pieces of wood under there. Still got to glue them in so when I put the bung plug in, it doesn't touch the bottom. This is what I've done so far. So I cut the front there, I'm just going to cut at the two sides, and then that's the bottom section done. Then I'll do the top section, then I'll do the doors in the top. I'm going to make some cabinets in the front as well, so I'm going to have a lot of storage space. Yeah! So I've made a stencil for the side out of a backdrop. This is my backdrop from the photography. It's a bit curly, which is super annoying, but it's all good. Stencil's made. Let's go cut it out. Well, that's just one side. Peace. I've actually made like a little extended part there, just because there was a bit of a gap there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start installing the floor. I'm going to put some peanut butter around the edges, and I'm going to put the floor in the cabin in as well. But before that, I've got to clean it. Cool, so what I'm going to do guys, or what I've done here is I've actually put like 2 pieces of wood there, just to hold the structure together, because I'm going to take this off and I'm going to put some peanut butter on the side of the cabin. Okay guys, so I finished putting peanut butter on the floor for now. So when it's dry, I'm going to do it again tomorrow or the next day. But this is what it looks like so far. I'm just waiting for it to dry. I still got to do that section there and take these pieces of wood off. Okay guys, this is day 2. Now I'm going to finish peanut buttering the floor in the boat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out these 2 pieces of wood here. Okay, so that worked pretty well. So see how I joined the wood, it's nice and level. Check it out. Woo. Now I'll just carry on installing the floor by putting more peanut butter around second time, and then that should be good. Peace. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start measuring the fiberglass mats. I bought 4 of these. See, this is 400 gram, 1 meter square fiberglass mats. So I bought some 400 grams. So basically 400 grams means you need 400 grams of resin to apply this to the surface. There's a bit of a storm here the other night, so the boat's a bit wet inside. So Okay, so check it out. This is how I've measured out my fiberglass mat. See? So I've cut it out, I've measured it, I've labeled it as well, I've marked it. See? Port side, starboard side, that's the front. So all I've got to do now is make some resin and then resin it in the boat. Peace. So all I've got to do now is I've got to just grind some lumps away here. I just want to make it a bit more smoother. You can see it came out pretty good, the peanut butter. So I'm not really worried how the bottom looks because there's got to be a cabin on top here. So that part's done, guys. So now I'm just going to give it a bit of a sweep just to get rid of some dust. Okay, so I've used quite a bit of resin. I actually put 700 mils in here. So 2% of 700 is 14 mils. So I used 14 mils of milk. See, I measured it here. I put the 14 mils in here in the resin and I'm just stirring it. So you stir it for about 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes. When you think you've finished stirring, stir it some more. Because the last thing you want is the resin not to be mixed properly, and you just don't want it to not cure. You'll have to take it all off again, which is a mission. I've never done it before, I don't want to do it, so make sure you stir it properly. I'm going to make sure I put a good amount of resin there. So I'm using the resin brush. Don't want any bumps there or bubbles. So check it out, guys, I'm finished for now. Putting the mat on the floor, the fiberglass mat. Okay guys, so all the resin is dried up. There are a few bubbles, but not many. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sand the bubbles flat. I'm just going to patch them up with some small pieces of mat. Okay, so I finished sanding all the bubbles away. There was about maybe 7 bubbles. I sanded away. And so what I'm going to do now, I'm gonna measure like a bulkhead over there, and then I'm going to put like pieces of wood here to stabilize the cabin. And then after I've measured the cabin out and I've built the cabin, I'm going to put the bulkhead over here. You see? So the reason I never took this bulkhead off completely is because the boat feels a bit thin over there. So instead of me grinding it and stuff away, I'd rather just cut it out. I've got the stencil inside, and then I'll resin it. I'll make sure I epoxy it properly, like really like hard into the boat. So I'm first going to do the bulkhead of the cabin. I'm just going to do this piece over here, the bulkhead. So I've measured it here, and so now I'm going to put some stringers there because I have to measure the height. Okay guys, so I cut out the frames for the cabin. There's the bottom parts here. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to resin it, and while I resin that, I'm just going to resin the patches on the bottom here where the bubbles were. Then after that, I'll just put the cabin together and put some Flowcoat over it. Woo. So as you can see, I've done the bottom section of the cabin. So all I did is I resined everything. Actually the 2 layers there, so just so it's super waterproof. I'm just going to put this frame together, do a bit of woodwork, and then I'm going to start peanut buttering the corners down to make it super solid. And then from there, I'm going to sand it just a little bit, and then I'm going to Flowcoat it. Peace. So I want this to be flush over here, because when I open the cabin, I just want it to be like a deep hole. I've actually mounted the frame with these 3 pieces of wood. See, so it's nice and flush. So the reason I do that is because when I put peanut butter on there, it doesn't move out of place. And when the peanut butter matures, it'll be spot on. Okay guys, so I finished putting in the frame for the cabin. So all I gotta do now is wait for the peanut butter to dry. See, I did it nice. I made the edges, I put a nice radius on the edges. And when it dries, I'm gonna take out these 3 pieces of wood because it's just holding it in place. And then I'm going to peanut butter the sides where the wood was. Just touch it up a bit. Then I'm going to sand it a little bit. And then I'm going to put Flowcoat. Okay guys, a bit of an update with the structure of the cabin. So what I've done is I've drilled holes in the back. See? I drilled holes with the circular saw. And I drilled a hole there. For each cabin. The reason I do that is so if the water comes in the cabin for some reason. And when I park the boat. I just put the jockey wheel up so the boat will come up in an angle, the front will come up, and all the water will flow through the back and through the back hole here into the bottom hole. This bottom hole here will have a bung plug. So all I do is when I park the boat, I just take out the bung plug and then take out the bung plug in the back of the boat, so everything will flow backwards out the boat. It's better not to put the hole on the bottom, but it's better to put it on the side. The reason is don't put it on the bottom just in case you have small stuff in your cabin, like for example change or whatever small. If there's a hole in the bottom, it can fall through the hole and it can be trapped under your floor on the bottom of the hull. So you don't want that. You want everything to go sideways, you know. Peace. What's up? So it's been a while now since I've done the boat. I gave it a break for a few weeks, but I looked in the boat and I just saw heaps of water in the boat. Water was leaking through the window or something from the rain, so I'm just draining the boat out before I start working on it again. Check it out. Damn. Okay guys, so just a tip, if you ever cut out your cabin, keep the big pieces or the pieces that are really important, and you can use them as stencils to cut out the new pieces. So what I'm going to do guys, I'm going to do the front cabin first, and then later on I'm going to get some more wood, buy some more timber so I can do the back part here, and then I'll do the bulkhead over here, and then that's it. Then later on I'm going to just close probably this part over here, this section here, and leave the section open. Okay guys, I'm just cutting out the front part of the cabin. Okay, check it out. So I've measured the cabin, I measured the hatch, so this is how I've done it there. I'm gonna cut out a hatch over here and put a hole there so you can just lift it up with your finger. I did run out of wood, so I had to go buy some wood, but I've made a plan with the leftover wood I had. So I measured this top piece here, the front part, but there's just a small section missing. So what I've done is I've just cut a piece here out. Then I'm gonna do my thing. I'm just gonna fiberglass that in so it's nice and solid. So I drew some radiuses on the edges, so you want it to be a bit round, you don't want it to be sharp. See, I just use that, turn it upside down. Check it out. So that's what it looks like so far. Looking good, except that part there. I'll fix that part up. I just cut out a piece. I made it overlap a bit so it's more on the frame. It's all good. So yeah, so I was gonna install the stoppers now underneath. I'll show you. So I finished fiberglassing it. So what I've done here, I've fiberglassed the edge on. I'm just waiting for that to dry, then I'll turn it around and put some peanut butter there, make it nice and strong. And then this section here where I'm going to put these bottom pieces so the hatch doesn't fall through the deck. I've actually put fiberglass on first, like strips of fiberglass, and then I'm going to screw these on top of that. So when it dries, it's got to be like super strong. So that's got to be pretty solid. I'm just going to wait for this piece to dry, and then I can make it more solid. I just need it to hold itself in place, so I can work on it. But looking good. So now guys, I'm just going to cut some carpet up because I want to put it underneath these hatches, just so it gives a nice carpet feeling, a nice warm feeling. You know, I'm going to put carpet here, there and over there, but I'm going to keep this one clean. I'm actually going to paint this one gel coat again. I'm going to sand it down and paint it. I want it to be super white. So the best thing to use to mark carpets is white chalk. You get these at Bunnings, they're pretty awesome, they last long. Okay guys, so all the carpet for the front section is cut out, so it's ready to start gluing. So I'm going to use contact glue. I'm going to start applying it now and see how we go. Woo. I just cut out a piece here so the water flows better at the drainage hole. Okay guys, so I'm pretty much done for today. I've carpeted the front section. I've actually painted the sides all white now. So I actually taped up this hole here where I'm going to put the bilge pump underneath the deck. I taped it up so nothing falls under the deck and gets lost. Woo. Okay guys, I just put the front part of the cabin in. It's looking pretty sweet. Check it out. All I've got to do for the front is mount this in, put the hinges on here, fiberglass it and paint it. Now I'm going to do the back section here. Okay guys, so how I'm going to cut this out, I've got two pieces to cut out. I got the back side of the cabin, and then I got the bulkhead as well to cut out. I'm going to use one piece of wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the cabin in the middle, and then I'm going to cut the bulkhead in the bottom, because the bulkhead is like a U shape, sort of like a U. So I'm just going to use the bottom section here for the U, and then cut the cabin out from the middle and save some wood. Okay, so I've marked where I'm going to cut out the hatch, and then afterwards I'm going to turn it upside down like this, and I'm going to cut out this hatch here. That's where the batteries are going to be stored. Okay guys, so as you can see, I used two pieces of wood to make the top of the cabin. The reason is I couldn't find a piece wide enough and big enough to cut out as one piece to fit on the top, so I had to make the cabin with two separate pieces of wood. I just resin the cabin now, and I want to put the cabin on top. I'm going to fiberglass it a bit to make it super strong. Took me a few hours to do, but it's done. Woo. So I can take that off. I'm going to put the batteries and stuff inside there. I'm still going to install like hatch stoppers over here on the sides over here, just so this won't fall through. This is going to go this way, and this one here is going to go that way. But what I'm going to do as well, I'm just going to fiberglass the top of the hatches there just to make it super strong. And then that's it. Woo. Okay guys, so I've decided before I install the carpet, I'm going to install the bulkhead first, because I'm going to measure the carpet and put it against the bulkhead. I can't cover the space here because I want to resin over that. I've measured out the bulkhead. There's the measurements there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to cut the radius there in the corners. But that's it there. There's the bulkhead. Okay guys, here we go. I've just done the radiuses. Now all I've got to do is just cut it out. But when I cut it out, I am going to measure it up again, and it's got to be smaller. I'm going to have to cut it out a bit smaller again. So this is really just a rough sketch. So rather make it bigger than smaller. So because if it's bigger, you can actually just cut it out and trim pieces off and just make it work, you know. Peace. Okay guys, so I cut the bulkhead out. I cut it bigger than I'm supposed to, which that was my plan. So now I'm gonna cut the corners out. So I've measured how far the corners, I've marked it off there, and I've measured from the bottom to the top. So that's 65 mils. I'm just cut from there all the way down. Same with that side as well, see? So I'm using 12 mil marine ply for the bulkhead, but I'm gonna fiberglass it quite a bit to make it super strong, because that is like the main bulkhead in the middle. So it's going to be super strong after I've done it, so check it out. Woo. Okay guys, check it out. There's the bulkhead there, there's the cabin, looking pretty good. Woo. So there's a bit of a gap there. Okay, I'm not perfect, but I was nearly there. So what I'll do, I'll just fiberglass that so there's no gap over there, and I'm going to put heaps of fiberglass and resin over the bulkhead so it's super strong. I'm going to put some mats on the corners, around the corners like that, to make it nice and smooth. Cut out the bulkhead, make it a little bit more flush, and then that's it, done. Woo. Okay guys, so I'm about to install the front section of the cabin and the bulkhead. The reason I'm not installing this one here is because I need a peanut butter the inside of the bulkhead to hold it in place, and I'm going to take this out and then I'm going to carpet the inside, then I'm going to put this cabin piece on top. Okay guys, so I finished putting the peanut butter on, the fiberglass peanut butter paste. Check it out, it came pretty good. So for the edges here, I just use a plastic spoon. You just go like that. It has to have a radius on, it can't be 90 degrees, because if it's 90 degrees or having a hold onto the wood, it has to have a bit of a radius. So it's got a bit of a grip. So I just gotta wait for it to dry. Then I'm gonna take those 2 notches out and I'm gonna put the middle section on, and that's it. Whew. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna cut some fiberglass out because I want to start fiberglassing the bulkhead. So I'm just gonna measure it out and cut it out now. Okay guys, so I basically put nearly 2 layers of fiberglass on the bulkhead now. So the main part I was focusing on is the inside, because once that's dried up, I'm going to sand it a bit. Then I'm going to start putting the carpet down, and then I'll put the top part of the cabin on. Then I'm going to fiberglass it around, give it a nice curve, and put a 3rd layer of fiberglass on. Woo. Okay, check it out guys, this is what I've done. I cut some small pieces just to put on top of the cabins. I'm going to fiberglass that so it doesn't bend or anything, just for extra measures. Okay guys, so what I've done, I fiberglass the tops of these cabins. So I'm just going to wait for all this to dry, then I can sand the sides. The fiberglass has dried. It looks a bit tacky, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean it up. I'm going to sand it up a bit, and then I'm going to put some gel coat on top, so that should be nice and smooth after I put the gel coat. So what I did do today is I went and got a hatch, because I'm going to install like a waterproof section there for my cameras and stuff. I've actually carpeted the inside of the hatches, and this middle hatch here, I'm going to put some more Flowcoat over it. And then so the next thing I'm going to do is wait for this to dry as well, and then I'm going to sand it a bit to make it smooth. Then I'm going to get the other piece of the hatch, the top part of the cabin, and then I'm going to peanut butter that in. Okay guys, so I'm just going to cut the hole up for the hatch. So this hatch comes with a stencil. I'm just cutting out the stencil quickly. Ooh, I hope it doesn't rain. The clouds are looking pretty dark. Ooh, check it out. Okay, so I changed my mind a few times with the sketch. So this is basically center of the section. The hatch has got to be center of the other hatch. See? Hatch there, and hatch there. So they're all centered. Okay guys, so I just cut it out. I cut out and then I sanded it. I sanded the corners and stuff so there's no burrs. Just got to be putting some screws in here just to hold it in place. Okay, check it out guys, this is what it looks like so far. Yeah, looking pretty good. So I'm just going to peanut butter the sides in. Okay guys, so I've finished mounting the top of the back side of the cabin in. So you see, and the bulkhead as well. I've put about 3 to 4 layers of fiberglass on the bulkhead. I use this matte fiberglass, so it's super strong. Yeah, so when it dries, it's going to be really strong, the bulkhead and the cabin, so it's pretty good. All we're going to do now is wait for it to dry, then I'm going to sand it a bit, then I'm going to put gel coat on top, and then start putting the carpet on too. Woo. Okay guys, so everything has dried up now. It's looking pretty good. There's a few sparky spots over here, but I'm going to sand everything down, make it smooth, so I can start putting gel coat, then I'm going to put the carpet on top. The hatch came out awesome as well. Just got to sand it down, make it a bit smooth. I'm going to put some more Flowcoat in here. That was just one coat, but I'm going to sand it well, take all the shine off so I can put some more Flowcoat. There's the middle hatch guys, came out pretty good. Once I Flowcoat all this, it will be a nice color, everything will be white. Check Check it out. Looks good. This is a bit warped, but over time it'll just go flat. Okay, so today my goal is to finish all the sanding. I want to just get all the sanding done on the boat. I just got to sand the sides. The floor is done. It's ready to be painted. Just want to sand the sides over there, all around the boat. Just get that part done, you know. Woo. Sanding time. Woo. Okay guys, so I've actually machine sanded the whole of the inside of the cabin. Okay guys, so it's not recommended to sand the side of your boat, especially with a machine sander. The reason is because you don't want to make the side of your boat any thinner than it is. And so how I sanded it, I just pressed the machine sander on very gently. I never pushed it very hard. The reason why I sanded it, because I wanted to prepare it for painting. There was a bit of stains and dirt I wanted to get off with the sander, and so that's why I did it. Woo. So now I'm gonna manually sand some areas that I couldn't reach with the machine. Like for example there in between the windows and stuff. And I still gotta cut these off here. These are like pieces of screws. It's finally time now. I finished sanding the boat and all that. All I gotta do is vacuum clean it, blow all this dust out and wipe it down with acetone. Just to make sure it's super clean. Okay, everything's washed down and ready to paint. All I gotta do now is put the tape around the edges of the windows. Okay guys, everything's done. I'm ready to paint now. So what I've done, I've got some all surface primer. I was thinking about not using primer and just putting the enamel paint on top of the old paint job. But I'm not 100% what type of paint is painted on the boat. I have an idea. I think it is gel coat, and I've shown some other boaties as well, and they say it's gel coat. So just to be safe, I'm going to put a primer on first, prime, and then paint the enamel paint on. It's best to be safe. Just spend that extra $1 just to do a proper job, you know. There's no easy way around doing boats. There's only the proper way. So yeah, we go. I'm going to mix it with brushing thinners. So this is an all glass brushing thinners. So I just mixed like 3%. That should be good. Just to thin it out a bit. Make it easier to brush. I'm just going to put one small coat, a quick coat on the boat. I'm not going to make it super thick. I'm just going to put enough so the enamel paint gives a nice grip, you know. I like to use this yellow stripe. It seems to be more harder and more durable, especially when I use two-piece paint. It does last longer, because if you use the other ones like these ones here, especially with the two-piece paint, it starts breaking it apart after about 10 minutes. So I think these do last a bit longer as well. So I am going to wear a mask while I paint the inside of the hull. It's starting to smell a bit toxic in here, so okay guys, just got to put some gel coat on now. Okay guys, apologies, while I was putting gel coat on, the GoPro died, the battery went flat, so I just carried on. I didn't want to stop, so there it is there. So I've done both sides of the hatches, and then I just carried on and I just carried on doing the inside. See, I haven't really put any paint over here because I want to put a like a wall type thing, like a bulkhead type, just like going down from here to there. I want to block this section off, but the gel coat's done. I just gotta wait for that to dry, and then I can put some carpet on. But before I put the carpet on, I want to paint the color. I'm gonna do like a light grey inside the boat and around the inside of the hull. Now it's time to mix the paint, so I'm gonna mix the color. So they didn't have in the shop the grey color I wanted. I wanted a very light grey. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix it myself. So I got 2 liters of white, and I got 1 liter of dark side grey. And then I'm going to mix it all in this bucket. So this is a 4.6 litre bucket. I am going to mix a bit extra. The reason is, in the future, when I want to touch up the boat or something, I'll have some spare paint I can touch up the boat with. So you can't really mix paint and then try remix it again, because the colour won't come out as you originally did. So how I'm going to mix the grey is I'm going to mix it up in small pieces at a time. So I'll put a bit more grey in. I don't want it too light, the colour, I want it a bit darker too. I'll probably put more. I'll just put it all in. Better. Yeah, I like that, that looks good. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of brush and thinners, because it's the right thing to do. Not too much, just a little bit. Okay guys, so I finished painting the inside. Check it out. It came out pretty good. I even did inside the anchor wall. You can't really see it from there, but yeah, it looks pretty good, guys. It's a bit dark, but it's all good. I'm gonna put the grey carpet down next, and then that's it. That's the inside done, painted. This battery terminal thing, see? So this is off. That's battery 1. This is both batteries, battery 2. I'm just gonna take that off because I want to paint around it, make it look nice, you know. Luckily the bolts are pretty loose, because this boat, it feels like most of the bolts have actually ground off because they're all stripped and they're corroded. You can see how this one goes. So all I've done here, guys, is I've taken this off because I want to paint around it, and after the paint's dry and all that, I'm gonna put it back on. But I do actually want to cover these holes here and make it straight. I don't like those holes. I don't know what was there before, but it's pretty messy. So I'm gonna just fix that. Okay guys, so the plan here is I'm gonna put like a bit of a half wall here under the steering wheel of the boat, because I want to block the side of the boat. What I've done is I actually ran out of wood, so I just fiberglassed an extra piece there. See, and I've put a piece over here so it doesn't fold over, because I've just fiberglassed one side. The reason is because I'm still deciding if I'm just going to paint this or I'm going to carpet it. I've got a feeling I'm going to want to carpet it, so just in case I paint it, I want the side to be smooth. I don't want any fiberglass here. I am going to fiberglass the whole section once it's mounted in the boat. That should be right. I'm just going to mark it now where I'm going to cut. Okay, there's some pop rivets here. I'm going to take out the pop rivets. Nice. Okay guys, I'm about to resin the wall in, but before I do that, I'm just going to sand some paint away where I'm going to resin. I think I went a bit overboard with the paint. So I'm going to cut this piece away. I don't need this extra piece here. I'm going to put a piece of wood going across. So check it out, before I mix up the peanut butter to install this, I just put one clamp just to clamp it in place and make sure the bottom was in line here, and there's enough space here to put the extra side piece in. I got my nice paste of peanut butter, and I got my spoon for the radiuses. I'm going to apply the peanut butter on now. Okay, check it out guys, it's looking pretty good and pretty messy at the same time. So there it is there. So when that's dried up, I'm going to do that section over there, but I'm thinking of doing that section there when I'm finished with the wiring. So yesterday while I was sanding the boat, I thought I was a smart ass, so I thought I could sand the boat without wearing protective clothes. So after I sanded it, man, I was itching the whole night, man, because of the fiberglass. So even though you've been sanding for long and stuff, fiberglass, just always wear protection. Like this one here, this white uniform, it's just to protect the fiberglass from going onto your skin, because man, it itches. Woo. Okay, so it's all dry now. It came out pretty awesome. Check it out. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this off here because it's solid now, and then I'm gonna sand it. Then I'm gonna make the side piece there. Then I'm going to fiberglass the bottom of the side piece, and then I'm going to put one sheet of mat around this, just so it's a bit more stronger. Okay, so check it out. So I've mounted the side piece in. I haven't fiberglassed it yet, but that's how it's going to be. And I'll put that piece in there so it keeps it in the right angle. So next thing, I'll just fiberglass it. I'm just going to cut out some mat because I want to fiberglass this whole section here. Okay guys, because the weather's a bit cold today, I've actually mixed a bit more hardener in with the resin, just so it dries a bit faster and not as slow. Check it out guys, it came out pretty good. So when that's dry, it's got to be nice and solid. See how I made the radius there? So there's a little bit of space wasted there, but it's alright. I don't want that there. I don't want there to be a hole there, you know, because if it rains, it might get inside the cabin. Once it's dry, I'm going to put a bit more fiberglass here, and then that's it done. Guys, so I'm just going to sand this a bit, and then I'm going to put one more layer of resin, then I'm going to be finished with this. Yeah, I'm going to start resining the second coat. So what I've done, I've actually mixed 500 mils of resin, and the leftover resin, I'm just going to turn it into like peanut butter, so I can do the corners. Okay guys, so I finished all the resining. Some of the areas I can't get to, so I'm just going to hand sand them. I'm just going to put a bit of primer on before I put the top coat. What's up guys, it's the next day, but I think it's going to rain today. Check it out. The clouds aren't looking too promising. I might just quickly do some painting inside the boat, and I'm going to cover it after I finish. I'll start with the outside first. I'm just going to paint this grey in the bottom, and then I'll do the inside. You see I've taped it already over there, because I don't want to get the grey on the white. Okay, let's get started. Woo. So I'm not going to focus too much on the back wall here. It is painted properly, but I am going to carpet it as well. I'm going to put carpet on top. What's up guys, so a bit of an update. So what I've done now, I actually just washed the whole boat. I just sprayed some water in the boat all over. The reason why I did that, because I'm about to start installing the carpet, and I don't want all the fiberglass and dust inside the cabin when I do the carpet, because when I do wash it, all the fiberglass and the dust will go into the carpet, which I don't want. So everything's done. I've washed everything down, the roof and all that, and now it's time to do the carpet. Woo. So this part can become a bit tricky, cutting out the carpet. So what I've done, I've actually left the cabin doors on top, so it's nice and hard. If I walk, there won't be any holes or whatever. And I've actually put some weights there, because I'm going to start cutting out the front, but I'll probably mark it with the white chalk and cut it out. And the reason why I have the weights is so the carpet doesn't move after I've cut it out, because it has to be perfect, really, you know. Yeah. Okay, I might just put more weights on because I don't want this moving. Okay, so check it out, I've put 20 kgs of weights down now. I'm going to start cutting this out. Yeah, it's getting hot here. Woo. So I've got these weights in here, so it's not going to move the carpet. So the carpet won't move, so I'm just going to fold it over. Take out this hatchet. Then I'm going to glue the carpet. I'll glue this side and glue that side. Then when it's ready to lay flat, I'm just going to lay it flat. And then when it's dry, I'm going to cut out where the hatch was. See? And then I'm going to use this part for the top of the hatch. And after the front is done, I'm going to do the same to the back part. Okay, check it out. I'm just going to use the contact glue. I'm going to start gluing. Okay, so far so good. I must say the best GoPro attachment I've used for videoing myself doing up boats is the jaw clamp from the GoPro, but it's actually broken now, but so I have to use the tripod again. The jaw clamp is pretty awesome because you can just clamp it anywhere on the boat in all angles, and it's just the best amount to use if you're on a boat, even driving the boat and fishing throughout the day. Okay guys, so check it out. I've finished applying all the glue. I'm just gonna wait for it to dry before I lay it flat, so it gives a nice grip. Okay, there it is. It's the front section. Time to do the back section. Okay guys, so this is what I've done. See, I cut out the carpet from the hatch, and so the reason I did that is because this hatch over here, I just placed the carpet like that on top. But the arrows are facing towards the bow of the boat. I've put arrows in all the hatches, because if I do the other way around, it won't be straight. I'm not perfect, so I don't think the hatches are perfectly straight, so I'll just do that. Cool, so I'll get to it. Peace. Okay, you can see what I mean. All the arrows are pointing towards the bow of the boat, and now when I glue these on top of the hatches, the arrows have to be facing that way. I'm about to install the hatch, the waterproof hatch. So here's the hatch over there, here's the silicone. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take the hatch off, and I'm gonna put a lot of silicone all around the edges here, and then I'm gonna put the hatch back, and then it's gonna seal it. Okay, all around the edges here are actually resined, so no water can come inside here. The only way water can come inside here is if the hatch is open. Well, I hope so. Check it out. And now I'm just gonna put the screws in. I'm gonna drill a guard hole. So it's just a 1mm guard hole. Okay, so check it out. There it is. And there, it's a waterproof hatch. Okay, your hatch should come with these small top pieces here. So what we do is put that on top of where your screws were. It just makes it look better. So it's all one color, you know? Okay guys, so I'm about to attach the hinges onto the hatches. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure 100 from the side of the hatch, and I'm gonna mark it. So 100, then I'm gonna measure 100 from this side, mark it there. And then I'm gonna put the hatch up in the middle of the marking. Check it out, that's one hatch. Pretty awesome, I like that. Nice. Okay guys, so now I'm going to place the carpet on the back. There's two ways you can do it. You can either measure the deck out, cut the carpet out to measurements, and then take your chances and put it down flat and hoping everything is straight. Or there's a second way, which I kind of like now. It's the second way is the same way I did the inside of the cabin. I just lay the carpet down, and then I put weights on top of it. Then I just cut the edges with a knife, and the weights will prevent the carpet from moving. And so when I glue it, I just lift it up and glue half. Then after I glue half the carpet, I just lay it flat, and then wait for that to dry a bit. Then I just do the other half, and it works out perfect. I think that's my favorite way of doing the carpet now. It's pretty easy, simple and fast. Check it out guys. So what I do is I put one side of the carpet flush. Check it out, so putting weights down there actually helps quite a bit. I think without those weights there, the carpet would have moved. But it actually helps quite a bit putting weights. So if you don't have weights, use bricks or something else, something heavy, just so the carpet doesn't move. Yeah, and once I glue it together, I just trim it up a bit more. Looking good. That's gonna do that part. Okay guys, so what I'm doing now, I'm gluing all the patches. So there's an empty spot over there. I just cut out a patch over there. I'm gonna glue that. I'm gluing that patch. I'm gonna cut it straight when it's dry. There it is. Put the patch on. I'm just gonna wait for it to dry, and I can cut it. Make it straight. straight and make that one straight over there. So it's going to be one straight line of carpet. And that's it. That's it for now, guys. I'll see you soon. Okay guys, so I carpeted the wall from the inside. So all I did was cut out the length of the marine carpet. Then I put contact glue and then I applied the marine carpet and it just worked out perfect. I'm about to install the hatch on the deck. So I'm just going to cut away the carpet first. Okay guys, just got to put some silicone on here. I'm going to make it a bit waterproof as well because it is on top of the deck. So if water gets on the deck, I don't want it to go under the deck, you know what I mean? Check it out, that's it guys. That's the hatch done. I put silicone inside so it's nice and weatherproof, so water won't get inside if water comes onto the deck. That's pretty sweet. Woo. Okay guys, so for the seat, I've decided I'm gonna put it over like there. I've measured it and all. So now I'm just gonna mark it. So there we go guys, I've measured both seats. I've decided I want them both next to each other in the front. So in the back section of the boat we can just play and fish and do what we have to do. Check it out, so I've marked circles around both of the bottoms of the pedestals. So now I'm going to cut out wood and make an extra layer of wood on the bottom. Whew. Okay, for the captain's side of the boat, as you can see here, I actually put some extra pieces of wood under the deck because I knew I was going to install a seat there. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put another layer on top. So I'll have 3 layers of wood on the captain's side. So that will be 36 mils. That will take up basically the whole thread. So there'll be enough wood in the floor on the captain's side just to fill up all the thread. So it's going to be super strong. And on the passenger side, there's only 2 layers of wood. I'm going to cut out 2 round pieces of wood here to install, and then I'm going to fiberglass it in the boat. So what I've done, I've found a stencil here, this old washing bucket. So basically the wood is going to be the size of the bucket. So I'll have about that much wood on the sides sticking out. It's nice to have it a bit wider, just so it's more secure if you are leaning on the seat, so it has more extra pieces of wood to lean on. Here's a stencil. I'm going to start from the end here because I don't want to waste wood. So that's going to be the bottom pieces for the pedestals. That's another 12 mils. Okay guys, so I'm going to start sanding some Flowcoat away because I want to put some resin here. So I'm going to do this carefully and I'm going to try not to get rid of the marking I made. Okay guys, so what I've done, I've sanded as much Flowcoat off as I could. I still put resin on it. I just really need the resin to hold it in place. You see, so I put 4 screws on each. And when the resin dries, it's just going to hold it a bit more. So once everything's dried, I'm going to actually carpet over it. The reason why I'm going to carpet over it, because over time, by putting pressure on the sides, the carpet will actually mold into the sides of the wood. And it'll look quite nice. I didn't want to put this on top of the carpet because it won't look that good. So I'm going to put the carpet over it. Okay guys, so it's time to put the chair in. I'm just going to put one chair for now while I'm still doing up the boat. So I'm just going to put the captain's chair in. So I've measured it up. I know where I want to put it. Where I have to drill the holes. Make sure you do this properly because you basically only get one chance to do this. While if you do it wrong, you'll have to drill more holes in the bottom of your boat, and you don't want to do that. So that should be good. Okay guys, so I've marked where I want to drill. The first or second hole, I just want to leave the chair inside. So I'm using like I think that's a 4mm drill. Because the screws are so big, I have to make a little bit of a guide hole because I don't want any plywood splitting. I've got a 13mm socket here, so I'm gonna use a socket to push this through the hole. I'm gonna use silicone as well. Make sure you use the clear silicone. You don't want to use the white silicone because you'll leave white marks all over if you're a messy worker. So there it is, guys, nice and solid. Check it out. Okay guys, so check it out. I've installed both seats now. Check it out. Woo. Nice. So when I installed it, I made sure I made the gap in the middle as wide as possible so you can walk through. It's good. The seat's not touching the sides. It's good. Woo. Well, that's how I installed my seat in the boat. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Cheers. So how I made the side pocket, so I measured the bottom, so I measured how big I have to cut the piece at the bottom, and I put a little side piece on as well, so if I put anything in the side pocket it won't roll over to the side. So once I fitted the bottom in, I screwed it in with 6 screws. So there it is, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some silicone inside the edges just so it seals it up a bit. You can see I made holes in the side of the floor there just so the water can run out if any water goes in. Ooh. Okay guys, so check it out. I've done the cabin. This is what it looks like now. So here's a waterproof hatch. Cool. So this is the front section here. As you can see, I keep all the flares and the life jackets in this section. See? And this one here, that's just for different stuff, whatever. Here's the batteries here. I've actually installed solar power as well to charge the batteries, but that's a separate video. Woo. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to use the original anchor door. It's still very good. I'm just going to repaint it and make it look new. Woo. Okay, so I've just grinded the bolts off. This is becoming a normal thing for this boat. So I've grinded all the old bolts off, taken the hinges off. I've got new hinges as well. I'm going to keep this. I'm just going to make this brand new again. I'm just going to redo the whole anchor hatch. It's still very good, so I'll still use it. Woo. Okay, so I'm busy doing the anchor hatch. So what I've done, I've just painted it. I painted it with normal paint around the sides and underneath, and then the top I put some deck paint on. So you see it's got the grains of sand over there, just so it gives it more of a grip. So I'm gonna put a bit of silicone here again. Measure it equal on each side. So this was 60. Okay, check it out guys, I've finished the anchor well. See? So what I've done guys, I've attached everything with nuts and bolts. The reason is because the nuts and bolts will last longer than screws. Screws can be ripped out, but nuts and bolts are very hard to get ripped out. Looking good. Woo! Yeah. So before I start painting and start taping the boat up, I want to wipe it down. I want to give it a good wipe down with acetone. You just want to do a good job, you know. Okay, so it's always good to tape everything you don't want to paint before you paint. Okay, check it out. I've taped the whole of the transom so I can paint. Okay, so I got the gunwale painted. See, I put some marine floor, deck floor paint on the gunwale. I've gone all the way around the boat. I'm just got to tidy it up a bit. I still need to tidy the edges up here. So I'm going to use a roller brush. What I'm going to do is just take my time. Okay, check it out. So I've done 2 coats of the white paint. It is pretty bright, so it's kind of hard to see the spots I didn't paint. But I'll go over it again tomorrow and get all the spots. Looking pretty good. Okay guys, so I think I finished painting the boat on the outside. I did the transom again. I've done 2 coats throughout the boat. The only thing is I wish it was overcast when I did the white section, because it's pretty contrasty and you can't really see the spots you don't paint. But when the clouds go over, you can see all the spots. But I've covered up everything. It looks good. I still got to get the gunwale rubber and put that on. I might get a white one or black one, I don't know. Still got some tape there. On the black section here, I've used a 2-part paint, and the white I've just used a 1-part paint. The reason is because the black section will be in the water all the time, and the top section I actually sanded everything, so it was still pretty rough. So what I did was use a 1-part paint for the top part. So that's the white section, yeah. So I'll just go with a small brush, lay it on, and just touch up around the edges, just to make it look a bit more neater. Okay guys, so I'm gonna start to do under the boat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna clean out all these holes, all these gouges here. See the gouge here? I'm just gonna clean up all those gouges and fill it up with some epi filler, and then I'm gonna sand it down. Then I'm gonna flow coat it. I'm gonna put some flow coat over it. But the tools I'm gonna use a half round file. Check it out. So I'm gonna use a half file just so I can put half a circle in the groove and just like clean it out. I just want it to be really clean so I can put the epi filler on. This one here, I'm just gonna use a wire brush, clean out these grooves. Some of these gouges are really like small and thin, like this part here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna use this half moon file. I'm just gonna make the gouge a bit bigger, not deeper, but a bit wider, just so I can put some filler in there, just so it holds. You see, it's a long gouge going all the way down the boat. You see, this is not a crack, that's just gel coat that's been taken off, or flow coat. Okay guys, so I'm going to put the camera off. I'm just going to carry on here and I'll see you later. Okay, sweet. So I'm just going to start mixing some epi filler. Check it out. That's the filler, and that's a hardener. So I'm just going to stir it until it's one color. Check it out. See, it's a nice paste. Let's check it out. See? What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to fill these grooves up. Epi filler. Check how nice it seals it. Okay, so check it out. I put epi filler through all the gouges in the boat. There's quite a few. So okay, so when the floor wasn't there, I could actually see through the boat and some of the gouges. If that happens to your boat, don't panic, because it's all it is the gel coat's been ripped off. All you have to do is fill it up and put new gel coat or flow coat over it. It's also good as well to beef up your hull by putting more layers of fiberglass. I did that from the inside of the boat. I never did it from the outside. So everything's dry now, all the filler. So I'm just going to start sanding that off. Then after I sand it, I'm going to put some flow coat over it. Woo. Cool, so what I've done, I've sanded probably 90% of it. And so I've got all the shine off. So before you put the Flowcoat on, take all the shine off, sand it as much as you can. I'm gonna paint the sections where I can get to, but with the sections where I can't get to, like under this roller here. So after the Flowcoat is dried, I'm gonna attach the trailer to the car. I'm gonna push the boat back and make sure it's secure, and go under, and I'm gonna paint the sections where I haven't painted. So this section here I want to paint on, but when I push the boat back, I'll be over here, and so then I can paint it. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna wipe the bottom of the boat with some acetone, just to make sure it's nice and clean for the paint. Woo. Okay, so I've wiped the boat with acetone, and now I'm going to start putting tape on the edges where I don't want the paint to spread. So how I'm going to mix the Flowcoat, it's the same mixture as the resin. So it's 15 mils of milk to 1 kg of Flowcoat. So I've just given it a good mix. I mixed it for about 2 minutes. So how I put the Flowcoat on is I make the roller nice and thick. And so what you do is you put thick layers like that. See? Just put a thick layer, don't put thin layers. Very short brushes. It's put on thick. You may use a lot, but that's how you do it. But because it's under the boat, I might have to do 2 layers. I might have to put it a little bit thinner than normal, because it might drip because it's upside down, you see? Okay, so check it out. This is the first coat of Flowcoat I put on. It's nice. Some of the brush started breaking over there, so I'm gonna go over that again. I'm gonna fix that all up. But it's looking better now. Black and white, yeah. Woo. Peace. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put the second coat of Flowcoat on the boat. But before I do that, I have to sand the first coat and make sure I take all the shine off. Okay, that's the front part done. I've taken all the shine off. Now I'm going to do the stern of the boat. Woo. Check it out, so I finished the bottom of the boat. So what I did is I just attached the trailer to the tree here. I tied it down, and then I pushed the boat back, just so I can get the spots that I couldn't get, that the roller was under. And so now I've completed it, see? Oh, the whole bottom is finished. I just gotta wait for it to dry, then push the trailer back. Woo. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Keep an eye out for part 3 of this 3-part video series I made of me restoring this old boat. If you like these types of videos, hit a subscribe and I'll see you soon. Woo!